Hey guys, this is Ryan Van Poederoyen from A Monolith. You are watching Bloodline.
Hey, welcome back to Bloodlines. Marissa here, and I'm back from LA. Last time I spoke to you guys, it was in LA, and I'm back in New York City. It's dark, it's cold, but that's how we like it. We're well preserved, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I'm well preserved here with Joel Grind from Toxic Holocaust. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Oh, well, talking about NAMM, did you ever get a chance to go out to NAMM?
Never been.
Well, like before the tour started?
It's so weird. Every time, I've got the invites and stuff, and, I got the passes and stuff, but for some reason, I just never can. I'm either on tour then, or I'm on like a vacation, or I'm working on something, so one of these days.
Yeah, I was actually cutting it short those last few days at NAMM, and then you guys were like on tour February 1st.
Yeah, something like that. We did a one-off show in New York, actually.
That's right. We're so glad you're back here, like 2 nights already. This is like the last night at Vitus for you here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other night was amazing, and hopefully tonight's similar to that. Monday's a little bit different than a Saturday, but hopefully it's still as good,
Oh, Sundays are always good here, no matter what. So, but just to get it started. So, since your last record with Relapse Records, how has it been working with E1 Music for the release of Primal Future?
It's been great. We were, there obviously was a pretty big gap between the two records, and I was kind of looking for the right label to go to do the new one, and basically it was one of those things where. Relapse was awesome for us. They did a lot of great things, but I just wanted to try something new. It was nothing against Relapse or anything like that. It was more of just, sometimes it's nice to see what else is out there. And E1 has really good distribution in Europe, and we do really, really well in Europe. Like there's a really big thrash metal scene there, metal scene in general. So
for sure.
It was something that was like, try something else, and so far so good. Been great.
Yeah, E1's really reputable, and we love their musicians on the label. So
really good lineup, and
definitely wish you guys like the best on with E1. They're good guys.
Thank you.
So would you say like the concept of New World Beyond is a reflection of our current economic system, and do you feel we're not far off from the dystopian society the song speaks about?
Yeah, it's kind of the record is sort of like this umbrella topic about dystopian future kind of thing. I always kind of thought it was funny that a lot of the 80s like movies and novels and stuff took place basically right now. This is the future we're living in. It's what they depicted, but it's just, the way they depicted it is a lot different. They didn't account for smartphones and things like that actually are kind of the scary things because they're in everybody's pocket listening to you all the time and things like that. So I kind of wanted to do something where it's like almost like about like technology going awry and like just stuff like that, like topics that are like very dark about like a future of now, like saying basically now is the future, but kind of like an alternate reality of the
it's scary that we rely on something that can be so destructive to us,
Right.
So when writing Primal Future, what story or awareness did you want to share with fans?
I kind of just wanted to make something that I didn't want to make a concept record, but I wanted to do something that was kind of a topic that basically I could write a bunch of, like quote unquote short stories. Like each song is kind of like a different story told in like that kind of world. And that's kind of what I wanted to portray, I think, is just something, the cover pretty much says it all, the cover artwork,
Yes.
You see that, you kind of know
it's pretty trippy. I liked it. So what has been your routine to stay focused with writing music for Toxic Holocaust over the years?
It's pretty much for me, writing music is one of those things that I just do, I'll pick up a guitar, write some riffs, put them in a folder on my hard drive, and then sometimes I'll go back in that folder 3 years later or something, and I'll hear something that, I could make a song out of this. Sometimes it doesn't hit you right away, so I'm always just building like a library of things that, might turn into future songs when inspiration strikes. And sometimes I'll just basically, I'll write something that is like completely finished in one session, which almost never happens, but it's nice when it does. But my usual process is kind of just write a little bit here and there, and then
Yeah.
kind of review it when I'm like, fresh ears on it, and I can kind of decide if that's going to be, something that I want to make a song out of.
Yeah, and does that work for like? Because I know that you write most of the, you do all the music pretty much for your music. That's not with your, with a touring band, but like you've written all of the parts, like of drums, bass, everything like that. So does that go for like everything included like that?
Yeah, I mean, usually when I write stuff, I usually start with guitar. So, the drums and stuff I can kind of hear in my head. I think it's because I started as a drummer.
Okay.
That when I play guitar, I kind of am already thinking about what the drum beat would be underneath of it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of maybe it's a little bit different of an approach, because sometimes, I know other bands will write a riff, they'll bring it to practice, and then the drummer will come up with something that, the guitar player never expected it to sound,
Yeah.
and it can turn into something really cool. But for me, I'm already thinking about what the drum part would be. Is this going to be, like a fast part, or is it going to be a middle section, things like that. So it kind of, I think, goes all in with all the instruments for me with that.
That's excellent and really interesting too, because it's I like to I would like that more people to do that too, just to get a better understanding of not just one instrument, but everything as a whole, especially if you're working with different band members and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you were recently quoted as saying, when I started the band in '99, I never imagined I'd still be doing it in 2019.
No. No way.
What obstacles had you overcome to prove yourself wrong as the sole creator of Toxic Holocaust?
I think the obstacles really were the very beginning was where the obstacles really showed themselves, because where I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of options to play with musicians, and that's why it was more out of necessity being a solo project than anything else. It wasn't like this like elaborate plan to start a band like this. It was more because I didn't have a lot of people to jam with. So in order to do something like this, I needed to learn things. So the obstacle for me was like I had to learn how to play guitar. I had to learn, because how many songs are written just on drums? You need the melodic element over top of the beat. So I was like, I need to learn guitar. So that was an obstacle. Something to start that. And then after that, it was like how at the time not able to tour. I wasn't able to tour until way later, until like the band started getting recognition, because I didn't have options for really just who I could have as live musicians. So yeah, like those are the obstacles that I faced at the beginning, and ever since then it's gotten a lot easier, because once you get the ball rolling, everything kind of starts to fall into place. And now it's I don't really look at it as an obstacle. Now it's kind of just like, it's almost like an extension of me. I've been doing Toxic Holocaust longer in my life than I haven't been. 20 years of my life.
Almost
I'm
21
38,
years now, yeah.
So it's like I've been doing it for longer than half my life,
Yeah.
So it's kind of just me now.
That's awesome. And so talking about, just having a band too, I mean, what do you look for when choosing touring musicians?
Honestly, the Toxic music is pretty simple. So I'm not looking for like virtuosos and stuff. What I'm looking for is people that are cool to tour with and be in a van with for like 8 to 9 hours a day. I think anybody, you know what I mean? Like, I think...
No bullshit.
It's really difficult to be in a vehicle that long with anybody, let alone, but it's like when you find those people that you're like, you can put up with for that long time, it's cool to... you want to hang on to those people, and it's like then touring's fun.
Yes.
Like it's not.
And
like,
that's what you want it to be
I
always.
do on
Yeah.
tour. It's like it's more like cool. I get to hang out with my friends for a couple weeks or whatever, and so that makes it really cool. And that's mainly what I look for. Like it's kind of, I want to find people that I get along with personally first. And then the musicianship is, again, the Toxic stuff is pretty simple.
Yeah.
So it's not like you need anybody to be like Ingve or something to do the stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh gosh, we're gonna go there. Yeah, and I totally agree with that. Because I've heard stories of just lineups changing because they just could not get along. And it's a shame because they fit so well. So that's very cool that that's what you look for.
Yeah.
And you're gonna say something.
Oh, I was gonna say also, it's also an element of it's nice to find people that live kind of closer to me. Like for years, I've had people that lived, all over the country and stuff, even all over the world. Like when I first started the band, I had a band in Europe, I had a band in Japan, I had a band in Australia, and that's like how I was able to afford to tour places as virtually an unknown band. I would like get people that could play the songs in different countries, and I would just fly there by myself, and then, you know,
Just
playing
take
for
it from
one
there.
plane ticket across the world is a lot cheaper than 4, you know.
Just take it from there.
So.
So you mentioned going back to your early Toxic Holocaust roots. Was there anything that you were inexperienced in then that you were able to produce more efficiently now with the new album?
Yeah, technology has changed a lot since the first 2 records that I made. Also, like, I did the first 2 records on reel to reel. You know, like, I don't think anybody like that hasn't worked with reel realizes how a pain it is to work with them, because you got to, like, the rewind time that you deal with is the part that, like, will kill you. It's like takes so long just to rewind takes and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you make a mistake, you got to rewind all the way back.
Right.
You know, with like, you know, computer recording now, you literally just push a button, you're back at the start. You know, like, that alone saves so much time.
Yeah.
So that, also learning about, you know, recording other bands helped me, you know, learn how to do my, like, what I do more efficiently, because more experience leads to quicker results, you know, and knowing what I want before I even start.
Well, that's right. You do also produce music. You know, you do a lot of mastering. When did that begin for you?
Believe it or not, that I started recording bands when I was a teenager, like late teens, like 16 or 17.
Oh, wow.
I had this little recording set up, and I would go to my friends' bands' rehearsal studios, and I would bring it there. And I did a thing where I was like, because I wasn't able to record at my house, so what I would do is I would travel, and my little side hustle thing was to be a mobile recording person. And it was like a weird niche thing that nobody was really doing.
Right.
So I was going to bands' rehearsal spots and recording.
Yeah.
Recording. I don't know.
Oh, we're getting some feedback here.
Sounds great. But yeah, I would go to people's rehearsal. Anyway, I was going to rehearsal rooms and everything, and doing that. And that's when I really started. But then starting it professionally was probably, I don't know, I guess it was probably right around the time as Chemistry of Consciousness.
Oh, yeah.
That's 2013.
Yeah.
That's when I started becoming like pro, I guess you could say, or whatever that means.
Well, yeah, and then I guess you know, speaking of that, and as our final question, are there any mastering projects you have lined up, or any interest in working with a band in the near future?
I just did something that was a big influence on me, and I just finished it. I got to work on. I remixed and. You know, it was cool. I remixed the original master tapes of Feel the Darkness by Poison Idea, which was a huge record for me, you know, as a teenager and, you know, early 20s and stuff. And it was really amazing to get to hear those tracks separated, you know, like hearing the individual drums and hearing the talking in between takes and stuff that you don't hear when you're, but if you're really familiar with the record, it's like it's so mind-blowing to hear the stuff, you know, separated. So that was really cool. That's something that I just finished up before this tour started, so that should be coming out soon. And what else am I working on? I have other stuff in the pipeline that, of course, I can't think of right now. I'm under the gun and can't. Well,
don't
think
definitely be
But I've got
following
a
you
lot
to
of stuff
find
going on.
out.
Trust me, I'm not kidding. I got a lot of stuff going on.
But that's awesome. But thank you so much for talking with us, Joel.
Thank you so
much. Check out Primal Future on is it Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff.
Everything.
All that
I
good
think
stuff,
all the
right?
usual suspects.
All right.
It's around.
All right, cool. And if you missed it, follow Toxic Holocaust on Facebook, obviously. I mean, what are you doing at home? Nothing.
Instagram.
Instagram, too.
I don't really use Facebook anymore.
I know, nobody does.
Nobody sees our posts.
No, me too. Us either. It sucks. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.